yourselves.
I'm Danny.
I'm Amy.
So, what got the band together to begin with?
Well, we're all friends of friends, really. And we used to be in a little band, minus Amy. We used to
Back in the day?
Back in England. And so we tried to do the usual route of doing gigs in England. And eventually Amy joined a couple of years ago. And we bought some equipment, started to record some demos, and then we were signed by Chop Shop Atlantic in America, in the US, and here we are.
So what's the difference of like American shows and shows overseas for you? Like, what do you notice?
You've got different accents.
Yeah.
No, I think it's a little bit more. The Americans seem to be a lot more friendly, if I can say that. They're into the music a lot more than the English. Would you say?
I hope no one in England watches this, but
No, I don't know. They just seem to get into it more.
I think the tendency is in England, because everything's quite close together, as obviously America's so big, the US is so big. If there's a gig in a city centre, people tend to live close to that city centre in England, so they'll get a taxi or they'll get a train. So what you usually find in gigs in England is people tend to get as drunk as they possibly can, and they shout out.
How many gigs have you been to in England?
How many gigs have I been to in England?
Have you got to drink every single time?
When I go to watch gigs in England, I tend to be a little bit worse for wear, yeah. Not in America, because you've got to drive home. And we don't advocate drink driving. Do we, chimp?
So, what's like your favourite part of this tour?
Just seeing different places, really. I mean, we started off in June, so by the time we go home at Christmas, we'll have been here 6 months, and we've literally seen everything there is to see, which is, people pay a fortune to do like that, though.
Yeah.
And we've done it for nothing, which is brilliant.
I like playing live. That's my favourite part. Because the longer you've been here, and the more shows you play, you start getting more fans, and then after so long, they start singing the words back to you. And like for me, that's really it's overwhelming.
It's what you do, really. It's kind of, you spend all this time recording and all this promotional work, but it's actually getting out there and doing gigs for people, which is the best part about it. And meeting people afterwards, at the gigs. It's been able to see what it means to what our kind of music and song mean to certain people is, even if it's just one person or two people, it's the best part of the job.
And American food, we like American food.
Yeah, well, obviously American food is better than anything.
What's your favourite tour food?
The sad thing.
Bottle of water and a slice of bread.
The sad thing about it is there's all this amazing food in America, and we've sampled most of it. But the food that we've probably, and I hate to say this, the place that we probably stopped the most is probably McDonald's. Let's be honest.
Yeah, but if there were more in and outs, then McDonald's would be in and out, because in and out burger is
Yeah.
Best one.
There's one here.
In-N-Out Burger?
Yeah.
Is it near here?
Yeah. It's
We
really
did
close by. I can give you directions afterwards.
We
if
would
you
love to know.
There's actually a few, but I guess, what's your favorite song to play?
Ooh, it's a tough one.
For me, it's Loudest Alarm, because it's a little bit, we're like, getting the crowd going, and we're all a little bit giddy.
Yeah. I think Give Me Something's always good to play that. But it's kind of, I think we got, because we've been here for such a long time and we've played the songs so many times, you kind of, I think it's every so often, like, there's new life that breathes into songs. Like, sometimes you think that song sounds great, and then 2 weeks later you think it sounds rubbish, and something else sounds great which sounded rubbish before, and it's just you can't really dictate what songs are going to sound the best.
And then I guess you've heard Matt play a lot now, so what song of his has gotten stuck in your head?
Room at the End of the World is my favourite song. song.
I like Modern Love actually.
Modern Love's a good song.
We actually listen to his album like every single day now, so
Yeah.
all of them.
I think he's we would say, you know, whoever kind of worked for us, you know, enabled us to get this tour, deserves a pat on the back, I think, because it's been a perfect match for us, and I think he's a good guy, and he's cut from the same cloth as we are, I think. So
He looks after us.
he does.
So, what's next after this tour ends? Because it ends like in a week or two, right?
Well, I personally am
I'm
going
having
to go.
6 years off.
I personally am going to go home and
Sit on your
eat loads of
little
food
bum.
over Christmas. I'm going to
I've
buy
plenty of
presents for
Christmas-
people.
I've plenty of Christmas turkey.
Plenty of
Pigs in
Christmas
blankets.
turkey. Do you know what pig in blankets?
Do you know what pig in
Yeah.
blanket is?
What is it?
Isn't it like a hot dog wrapped in like bread or whatever?
Sausage.
Well, okay, here they make
Hot
them hot
dog.
dogs. They're different
You
here.
were saying corn dog now. So what about?
I guess I should ask my dad because he's been over to London
Has
a
he?
few times, so he
Good
can give me
guy.
a
Good
lesson.
man.
Did you have fish and chips?
I think he did.
That's what I'm going to have as soon as I get off fish and chips.
So I guess like, do you guys do any charity work or work with any nonprofits either here or back home?
We kind of everything back home in England. It's we've done events for charities and stuff, and we're organising at the minute with our manager to go around to various hospitals and stuff. And we've done stuff for schools over in Los Angeles because it's important to us to kind of give something back, really. Do you know what I mean? And kind of play for those people that are unable to come to the shows or even unable to buy our music or whatever. It's
It's something we've always.
we've always said we want to do, haven't we?
Yeah.
We've always said it's something that's high on our priority list, and you know, whether it's going to raise some money for a school or play for someone in kids in hospitals, or you know, it's cancer research. Cancer's, you know, this last year's not been the best for us in regards to cancer, so I think we should kind of do what we can on that bombshell. So yeah, anything that we can possibly do for any charity is something that we always will.
Awesome. And then social network wise, which ones are you guys big on?
At the minute,
Aim is it?
I'm really into Twitter for something like. I'm not saying I'm obsessed. I'm really obsessed.
She's
No,
a Twitter
Twitter, Facebook.
She don't do Twitter. You do Facebook though. Anyone who wants to find Amy on Facebook, don't bother because she's not on. She does
Follow us on
Twitter.
Facebook. Scars45 Facebook.
Yeah,
Scars
go and like it.
Twitter.
Go and like it.
I
You
did.
liked it, yeah?
I did, and I
Nice one.
follow you guys on Twitter.
Have you seen the YouTube tour diaries yet?
I haven't yet.
If you go
What
on
are you
YouTube,
doing? You need to go check them out.
right, and check the
I'll
tour
watch
diaries
them.
out from like 6 months of being here. They tend to go a little bit insane because we are actually going insane while we're here.
Yeah, exactly.
You see a lot of our keyboardists in shiny gold shorts and nothing else.
Don't let any of your family see that. It's a bit dodgy.
What's been your favorite city on tour?
There's been loads.
You know what? There's not been one. Every place that we've been to has always offered something different. I think. And
I think one of his favourites is Portland.
Portland's a good city. I mean, we've never, like, this is our first time in Phoenix, so we've never been here before. So there's a number of places that we haven't been, but of all the places that we have been, there's everyone has been incredible for us, and we've met the best people.
Portland,
But there's little gems around the country.
It reminds us a lot of home.
Yeah.
Like, it's very cold and rainy.
Yeah, it's definitely not either of those here.
Yeah.